Hello and welcome to the last of my Champion League games in the group stage of this tournament, which I will be playing as the USA versus Frank Zhang. The situation in our group is such that uh, my score currently is 4 wins and a lost game, and his score is 3 wins and 2 lost games. But if he wins this one, due to the tiebreakers, he still gets the first place in our group. So basically, whoever wins this game gets to advance to the playoff stage of the tournament from the first place. And this hand is a pretty problematic one. It's straight up tragic if I get purged. If I don't get purged, I have decent ops, but no good events. Mm, and I don't have a good headline either. So, yeah. So I'm either going for nuclear test ban or US Japan or Romanian application. Romanian is just a wasted card and it's problematic if he lanes socialists and has Europe scoring, but either than that it's fine. Oh, and it gives him distal fuel, so say hello to Frank. So it's not a very good option, but it doesn't waste any ops. Nuclear test ban wastes a 4 op, but it gives me 3 VPs. And US Japan gives me Japan, but is a waste otherwise, and it kicks out my card from the deck. I think I will go for Romanian. Oh, I hope he doesn't have distal. But okay, to be fair, I have Warsaw and Comecon and I'm planning on giving them up, so I guess he will have plenty of fuel anyway. So let's just go for Romania. Oh, feels bad. Please don't be purge, please don't be socialists. I think I will try to event the goal and fight for France that way. He had socialists, so please don't have Europe. Oh my god. That's curious. So he's probably going to take 2 from Italy, 1 from West Germany or UK, and then coup Italy. So if he succeeds in kicking me out of there, I will probably just event the goal right away and go for France, because he's going to have access to France anyway, and I will gladly accept both the ops it grants me and also the fact that it kicks this event out of the deck. So next I will try to event Warsaw to activate NATO, since I don't think I will get Marshall soon. So that means Comecon will be my card which I will hold in case of blockade. And if I don't get blockaded, I will play it AR6 and hold a Master. That's the plan. So I'm gonna probably go for something like the goal into Warsaw, Nuclear, US, Japan, and Independent Reds in some order, and then Comecon and Nasser will be my 2 last cards. That can cover coup of Italy, of course, I guess. Shit. That's unlucky. Really? That 6 is annoying. Okay, I don't think he has a 4 up. if he had NATO or Purge, he would probably have used it earlier. He might have Marshall, because what I'm considering now is something like that. But the problem with that is that if he has Marshall, he can just take France with Marshall. But how good is it for him? Like, if he takes France with Marshall, I can still, like, steal a draw in Europe from it. And if he had Purge or NATO, he would have used that instead of attacking in Italy, because why the heck not? So the problem is that with that, he can basically take France with China. But I guess I'm fine with him taking France with China. Let's go. The problem is that if he takes France with China, then I guess the issue is that if I get blockaded later on during the game, then I may just then I may just lose all my Europe control, and I can't really allow that to happen. But like, I would have to not have blockade or any of the 4-ups, even if I get purged. And the probability of me getting purged isn't like that high, especially with defectors and containment being unaccounted for. So I guess I will be able to take France, looking at his place. So I may start by grabbing European countries. However, I think I may want to enter Lebanon as well, and I surely want to enter Malaysia. Huh. I could also leave France open so that Truman kicks him out. So it would be something like that, I guess. I'm not really scared of him kicking me out of Israel, right? Well, I think it's fine. If he goes Lebanon, then I guess I'm happy with the fact that I got a decent coup target. And him playing Olympic Games kind of looks like he doesn't have such a strong hand. That duck and cover crew didn't look very spectacular either, so. And if he had Decol or if he had Decol or Vietnam, he would have played them by now. Okay, he plays Fidel to South Korea, that's fine. The question is, do I take this chance to coup Iraq? Having taken Lebanon. I think I do. Unfortunate. So now both parties have fire mellops. Now I will try to grab some Asian battlegrounds, take Egypt and Libya, and take France. That's my priorities. Those are my priorities. However, I will probably not be able to accomplish all of them before this turn ends. So if he doesn't play blockade, I will have 10 ops to play. So, okay, he takes Korea with that, of course. Okay, so I will have 10 ops to spare. So it's like 2 into Thailand, 2 into Egypt, that's 4. If I want to take Pakistan and India as well, that will be another 4, that's 8. And 2 into Libya, that's 10. So I could theoretically take Libya, Egypt, Pakistan, India, and Thailand this time. But then Algeria is open and France is not taken as well. So I don't think I want that to happen. Uh, right. Okay, what about this? Since we concluded he doesn't have decode. This grabs Algeria, which is pretty open. It takes Pakistan, and it. Well, no, I don't think I. Okay, I think I will start with that. I will let him wonder about the Middle East. If he spends 3 ops to take Saudi Arabia, I think that's fine for me. Uh, if an emergency occurs, for example, with blockade, then I can play Nasser now since I have access to Libya granted already. And when I'm not taking Pakistan control, then he's in the Pakistani war is not that scary because if it succeeds, I may still take Pakistan. So I think that's fine. Okay, this is reasonable. Now I will give him Warsaw Pact. I rolled day 1 and he rolled day 6, which is absolutely huge for him, but his hand is not very strong. So I'm glad that at least I got more ops than him to somewhat account for the fact that his rolls are. I mean, his roll was pretty disgusting. And he didn't. Not only did he get pretty weak ops, he also didn't get many good events, except for socialists, of course, which were huge for him. Other than that, it's pretty whatever. Right. So I don't think I'm overprotecting Pakistan yet. Unless, or am I? Well, with that I can't take both India and Pakistan, which means I can't really set up a domination in Asia. So I guess I will go for that. And if he wants to take Pakistan with the China card, he doesn't get to take any non-battlegrounds in Asia, so he gives up the China card. And furthermore, he doesn't have an Asian domination anyway. And looking at my great access to Asian non-battlegrounds, he would have to draw decode to have a shot at it. So I think I will risk him taking Pakistan defectors, sure. And also, if he took Pakistan with the China card, it would still mean that. Uh, that's interesting. It would still mean that I can win it back with Indo-Pakistani war if I draw it, so I don't think he wants to take that risk. Now the question is, do I just ignore him taking France? Truman is somewhere in the deck. Theoretically, Truman could be that one card he's currently holding. I'm not sure though. So I could either go for France and just suck it in Asia, or I could do something like that, or I could go for something in the middle like that. So the good thing about that is now Marshall grants me France control right away. However, the bad thing is that I don't get to set up Asia domination. I would also like to overprotect Thailand. It kind of needs to happen. So maybe I go for something like that. But this is a pretty shitty setup because I don't really get anything. It's just very secure in terms of me getting Thailand, unless he goes in for like decal into China turn 1 or something like that. But I don't think I can afford not overprotecting Thailand. I mean, yeah, I don't know about Decol and I don't know about Vietnam revolts and I know that defectors are gone. So I can't stop him headlining anything. So going for something like that may be the most reasonable thing. And then he can't, with that play, he can't get Asian domination with his headline either. Right? Yeah. I really don't like this, but I don't think there is anything better. It's just a safe and solid play, which kind of sucks, but I just don't have enough ops. I mean, it's not like my ops were bad, but I need more of them to secure everything. So let's go for it. Okay. Curious. So Marshall is pretty obvious here, I think. Because now if he crews turn 1, then I can get Europe draw for free, basically. I didn't get purged, so there's a risk of me getting purged, and if I get purged, then I guess I have to hold blockade. Also, I don't see any deck cards, so there's a possibility that he has 2 of them. If I get purged, then I will be probably eventing 5-year plan, trying to snipe one of the deck cards or Truman, or Europe scoring, I guess. Or containment, or NORAD. There are just so many things I can pull out of his hand with 5-year plan if I get purged, so then 5-year plan would be worth only 2 ops, which would not be worth it. If I don't get purged, then it's not that bad. I got another 2 4-ops, so I will just discard Suez with blockade, give him Messer after I take Libya, play Vietnam revolts on last or second to last AR, and have plenty of ops to spend with 5-year plan and NATO. So if I don't get purged, this hand is pretty decent. The worst case scenario is that he got Decol, Distal, and Purge, and he's currently thinking whether he wants to play Purge or Decol on his headline. Okay, he went for Captured Nazis. That's like a really optimistic one for me, because it doesn't really look like he's having a monstrous hand. Because he knows defectors are gone, so he could have headlined anything he wanted. So now I guess he will just Iran or Panama. But no, probably Iran, or give me the CIA. He could give me the CIA now, if he has it. Yeah. Is there any reason for him to not go for Decol headline? If he... Oh, maybe he's... Oh, he could be considering dropping Europe right away. That's another thing. Because he knows that if he coups now, then I just take Europe. I mean, I draw it, basically. So, if he has Europe in his hand, he basically has to drop it now. But then, if he... that's curious. Because if he... Okay, he doesn't. Because if he had Europe, why wouldn't he headline it? I guess the only real reason for not headlining Europe in his situation would be being scared of East European unrest. But that's a pretty specific thing. Okay, so that's sad. That means I pretty much have to spend 2 in Egypt right away. So I guess I'm spending 2 in Egypt, 2 in Europe, and I'm completely ignoring area, which means I'm not overprotecting Pakistan, and that sucks. But also, yeah, that sucks. But also, if he had in the Pakistani war, he probably would have headlined it instead of captured Nazis. So I guess I'm going for that, and I'm going for that. And now the question is, do I take France or Greece? Because, or I can go for Canada, I guess, but probably not gonna happen. Because, like, if he has Truman, and I think he has Truman, uh, he will have value only in France. But purposefully not taking a uh, battleground in Europe is a pretty brave thing to do, and I don't know if I want that. Also, I can assume that he doesn't have Europe because he would have. No, I don't think I want to risk that. I will probably just stay with France. Damn it. Because I don't have ops. After I play NATO and Headline Marshall, I don't have enough ops to fight for it. If he jams France with China or Perch if he had it for some and decided to headline it for some reason, then I just don't get to fight it that much. And I don't want to risk anything silly happening in this game. So I will just calmly take Spain, France, and Egypt and see what he does. He may still have the CIA. It's not certain that he would have played it if he had it because Fiddle is discarded, so there is no risk for him to really relate it to DEFCON. Oh, and by the way, him queuing Egypt instead of Iran, as I suggested earlier, that's of course a reasonable thing to do because if he rolls on this day 5, he gets Libya. So that was kind of a risk, but it was probably the best play because he doesn't want to risk putting his influence in Panama or Algeria due to the CIA. And when you get to choose between Iran and Egypt, Egypt is basically better every time because it can grant you access to Libya, and by taking Iran, you don't get anything. Okay, he unfortunately had this though. Okay, he gives up in Europe, so sure. I'm not realigning, that's for sure. I can't. I don't have enough ops. So I guess I'm just taking Libya. Libya is worth so many VPs now that I don't think I care enough about shortening his hand. And also, if he plays Distal like this, it's almost certain that he doesn't have the CIA. I also don't get anything by him playing Truman anymore because France is taken. I may discard Middle East scoring if he has it, if I event 5-year plan. So I guess there is just no real reason for me to event it anymore. And I really need to take that Libya, and this is my only playable rule of 3. So I'm just going for it. Okay, so he probably doesn't have Europe because he wouldn't be scared about East European unrest either. So that means he doesn't have Europe. He may have Asia or Middle East, and he won't discard any of those because I have 5-year plan. Sure. Okay, so to get my mill-ups straight, I will probably have to start entering Colombia or Saharan states ASAP. However, I just suspect he will take Venezuela to not care about Colombia. So I guess I will go to Saharan states, and then I guess he will just ignore me. So I will take Nigeria, and I will just be fine with taking Nigeria and not getting knocks. I think that's the best I can hope for. Yeah, that's reasonable. He's defending against silly stuff happening. Let's just go for it, I guess. If he doesn't have Middle East, that's gonna be pretty sad for me. Special, alright. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So that basically means I can overprotect France or take Canada. Uh, hmm. Okay, he doesn't have Romanian anymore, so I will just go for France. I don't need another non-battleground, and I can fix Canada with one op if I need NORAD. Alright, so I could get containment. So I guess I will try to hold on to Nasser. Unless not. Hmm. I mean, if he doesn't play Middle East scoring now, then I guess he either doesn't have it or he will be forced to play it on his last AR. So by giving him Nasser now, if he has Middle East, I will just grant him 1 VP, and my domination will remain active. The problem is that if he doesn't have Middle East scoring, and I don't draw it next turn, so he will have it next turn, then giving him Nasser now will greatly increase his chances of equalizing Middle East or even getting a domination there. So if there is a chance for me to get containment, I will use it. So I will grab India to set up domination in Asia, and I expect him to do something with containment now. I'm not really sure what. Then I will space Nasser. That's the plan. Of course, I may be wrong. Maybe he doesn't have containment at all. But, well, if he doesn't have containment at all, then I will give him Nasser anyway, and it's not like I could have avoided it with any play, regardless what I do. But I think he has containment. There are just not that many cards that he could have now. Oh, he goes for Pakistan. Alright, so I think he's holding containment if he knows I have Nasser. Uh, oh, or he's thinking that I have Asia. He may think that I have Asia, so that's why he went for it, and that's what his let's see it means. But, or maybe he's wondering if I have an Indo-Pakistani war, so that's why he's like taunting me about it. I'm not sure. But now whoever gets Indo-Pakistani war gets a huge advantage in Asia, possibly. I just hope I don't lose Indo-Pakistani war. That's probably the most important card of this game now, after he got this out. I wonder if I want to go to Cameroon with Nasser. Nah, I probably need to take Indonesia because Decal may be in play, and Thailand is no longer of my interest since he gave me the China card. Are you fucking serious? Okay, so I wasn't prepared to get all three scorings without Indo-Pakistani War or Purge or Decal. That's pretty fucking surprising for me. He also got the CIA, but fortunately he also got UN intervention, so it's not like he got anything problematic in his hand. Jesus fucking Christ. So I basically have to go for defectors despite having 3 scorings. Because whether he headlines Decal, IP War, or Purge, I want to have that defected basically. So that's probably the best I can do. I will probably have to event 5-year plan, because then it will. If he plays UN, I mean, firstly, if he doesn't immediately get rid of the CIA, then I guess I will just I will if I hit UN intervention with 5-year plan, I can kill him by DEFCON. So I will just try to do that. Uh, and if I get rid of like purge or decall, that's good as well. If I hit containment, that's great. Basically, if he doesn't use, if I don't hit CIA, then 5-year plan is good. Because he then, if he has UN, then he has to skip a turn because he will not have enough cards to play all the action rounds. And if I hit the UN, then he's forced to play CIA and lose the game to DEFCON unless he redrew a nuclear test ban. So I will just have a shot at it. However, I suspect he will just pull Nigeria now, so I will drop Middle East immediately to not give him any shot at equalizing or dominating Middle East, which would be extremely easy for him. Like he can literally just play Red Scare Purge to Egypt and Saudi and turn my domination into his domination. That's that's how it works. Um, so if he wants to take Panama, that means he won't dominate Middle East. So I will just trade like that. I think I will just trade. I will coup Zaire, or I can coup Egypt as well. What do I coup? Quitting Egypt is useless in the long run, but it gives me a pretty decent odds at uh, grabbing Middle Eastern domination now, but I don't think the VPs are worth it. Queen Zaire is probably worth more, and if I roll a 1 or a 2 in Egypt, I basically die. And if I roll a 1 or 2 in Zaire, it's bad, but it's not a tragedy, so let's go for it anyway. So I guess he will get his mid-ups anyway from Saharan states, but well, that happens. So now he's probably gonna play a 3-up into Panama. Mm. And it's not obvious if he has one, but I guess if he entered Colombia like that, he should have one. Because, like, if you don't have a 3-up, what are you doing? Oh no, maybe, like, okay, to be fair, maybe that made sense anyway, because he knows I have 3 scorings. So I guess he could have just assumed that I won't have any way to fight for Panama. Olympic Games, alright. Uh, the question is, do I go for a 5-year plan as an event now? When I have 20%, a little bit less, but basically 20% of winning the game on the spot. Let's go. Yeah, so that's a joke, but like I couldn't, like it's not like I had any way to stop that from happening. It's just like it just happened. That's not something I could have played better. I had no agency whatsoever. Like this game just hates me, I guess. He has a good target anyway, so I guess I can go for Colombia because there's little I can. There are no useful things I can do with a 1-up, so I will just go for Colombia. Alright, the problem is that I have to react if he plays Decal now, so I hope he doesn't. Um, he has to take Panama, so okay, he plays Decal. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's weird. I thought he would break Indonesia instead of going to South Africa. I think that's a mistake. Um, like again, I like if I play anything now else than scoring, then I guess I will have to give him three scorings one after another. So I just can't afford to do anything. I have to drop Asia now. Um, and he can do whatever he wants. Because like I don't even have a good card to play, right? Because both Suez and Socialists break my Europe, and then he can just spend two ops to take Hungary or whatever, and then I will have to give up Europe domination and probably one other domination. So yeah, that's fun. That sucks so much. That's so unfair. Okay, so now he probably just plays special to take Nigeria and Laos, or Nigeria and Panama, and it's not like I can react to that in any way. So then I guess I'm just dropping Middle East and Europe. Middle East first, because there's a an easier way for him to break my draw there than in Europe. And I'm just vegetating like that, hoping for a better future. Yeah, he can give me containment now for free, basically, because like, what am I gonna do anyway with it, right? It's not like I have any cards I can play. So yeah, I'm giving him Middle East, and then I guess I'm giving him Europe, and then I'm playing. I guess I'm playing Suez for Ops, probably, and I'm going for something like Mexico. Oh, of course, that's a six, whatever. So I wanted to go to Cameroon to set up realignments, but of course lose that. It's, it's a fine play. I will take Canada and I will drop Europe because what am I gonna do? And probably give him Suez since then at least this event is out of the deck. And yeah, it's not like it changes anything. Or maybe I should have go put one up into France so that Suez doesn't break it, but it's not like it matters a lot, I don't think. Because I had NATO, so NATO is technically out before the reshuffle, so maybe that point in Canada doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, let's take Egypt and Jesus Christ, let's take Mexico and what else? Mm, I guess I should break something, so it could be Panama. It's not like I have access to any better targets, right? Yeah. That's a pretty decent hand actually. So that is fine, but it's pretty useless because Middle East is scored. Bear Trap is interesting. It can be helpful for him actually, but I can pick up Perch with Salt and then try Bear Trapping him, or I could play Salt to pick up Bear Trap. I can play Salt to pick up Perch, Bear Trap him at the last AR of this turn, and try headlining Purge next turn, so that he will be under Purge and Bear Trap next turn. So that's one way I can play it. However, I have Brezhnev, which is surprisingly problematic because if I have Brezhnev, I pretty much want to play him on my last AR only, and I won't be able to do that with my plan. So I guess I could also go for Salt now and try picking up Perch, and if he lets me, then I will just Perch him and then play Bird Trap mid-turn, if that makes sense. I'm really vulnerable to missile and event because when I sold anything, the Defcon will be at 5 and nuclear test ban gives him 3 VPs then, which is tragic. So maybe I just don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to bear trap him and then coup Nigeria. But I don't even have a good card to coup with. I don't want to waste a 4 for that. But Quick Nigeria could be huge in terms of base swing it creates in Africa. I don't want to give him Fidel, that's for sure. And Liberation is bad as well, so I'm holding those. I could do it with Socialist, but then he kicks me out of Greece and Turkey with it, so that sucks. So there is basically no... I mean, I don't want to say that there is no good play here, but no play is perfect. Maybe I just sold the Purge and see what happens. The chances of him having Missile Envy are so small. Okay, he had Africa, so going for Nigeria isn't that relevant anymore. So that sucks, because he got away with that on the verge of equality, because, well, yeah, depends on how you look at it. But then it's good that I didn't go for Bertrand because I wouldn't get anything from that. I mean, I could take Panama, but there are 2 things to grab on the board, Iku and Panama. So I guess I would still be able to only grab one of those. So let's see what he does, and if he allows me to just purge him, I will just purge him and then play Bertrand and hope that he doesn't have many good discards. Or that he rolls high. That may be one way to capitalize on my opponent's rolling low this game. Realignments that are viable now are France and Pakistan for me. And he doesn't have many of his own. Even Thailand is not that good. So, what? Okay, so he lets me realign France. But should I just realign France and then Pakistan? And then Italy, if it's allowed? I'm afraid he has South America, but it's not like I can do anything about it except for Queen Brazil, and I will still have time to do that. So the question is, do I purge him now? I think I purge him now. I will purge him because bear trapping him under purge, if he's sufficiently unlucky, can basically flip the game, and I kinda need to flip this game due to the situation I'm in. If he has South America, he's on the verge of winning on the spot. So I will just try to limit his ability to play this game, and there is always a chance that I will succeed. He also doesn't have a really good coup target, especially under Perch and Salt. Like his coups are nothing, so he doesn't really have a good enough incentive to lower the Defcon himself. Okay, so he just queuing to lower the Defcon because it doesn't grant him anything, like never. So now I'll bear trap him, hope that he doesn't have a way out. Okay, that's a good start. And now let's think what we want to do. So liberation, and I will get to hold two cards or three cards if I use China, but I don't want to use China. So I guess I will hold Fidel and Liberation, and so, I mean I will hold two of those, space one of those. So that sounds reasonable. So I will play the rest of those. That means I want to play Brezhnev on my last AR. So, okay, so I think it's reasonable to start by Queen Brazil. Okay, that worked. So because that's something I want to do every single time, basically no matter what, because I really, really need that clue. Okay, that's very good for me as well. So uh, that actually means that he may be unable to escape at this point. Because Wilbury is one of the last cards you're throwing into the bear trap as the USSR, so maybe he doesn't have any other options. The question is, do I Kumor? I may not want to Kumor actually, especially if he's stuck in bear trap, because he is not going to get more military operations in that case. So I may just chill. I may actually just chill. I may do something I'm gonna do anyway, which is spacing liberation. And then let's see if he has any other cards to offer. Because like it's possible that he has no other cards to give, but it's also possible that he has like Brush War and I don't know ABM, and he is just waiting to discard them. So okay, he's thinking about something. So I guess he has another card, and perhaps he even has more than one other card. No, he has a scoring. Oh my god! So he stays there. That's so good. Wait, but he was thinking so long. Maybe he has more than one scoring. Does he have South American scoring? Huh, let's see. How important for me is it to event Sadat? Should be pretty significant, but maybe not that much. Because I want to realign Venezuela, right? Yeah. Alright. I could also set up realignments with. So I could even set that now, then go to Costa Rica with US Japan, and then realign with Brezhnev. And realign a lot. I kind of like that idea. Playing Sadat here for an event is a really long-term investment, but it's a good one, I think. Okay, he didn't have more. So let's grab Costa Rica and France, I suppose. And let's realign. Nope. 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 Alright, let's not realign then. Never mind. Okay, so we know that he has at least 3 cards that are of value 2 or less. And that's a pretty shitty hand. Could have been worse, I guess. Panama Canal is a pretty good starter, so let's go for it. Latin American dev squads were the alternative headline because maybe then Che would be playable. I'm not sure about that, but it could be useful for that purpose. What about OPEC? Because I drew it, and it's a pretty playable one actually. So I will probably use it. No information about one small step. Willy Brandt is annoying, but it's good enough. Lone Gunman is gone, which is... I mean, it's a good headline for him, but at least I'm not going to draw it, so... That's one less thing to worry about, I guess. If he coups something, then I get to have the only battleground coup. And I'm still probably... Like, there are two approaches to that, in that case. If I'm right. Because he may also, like, ignore it and... Oh. Okay. Voice, okay. So, he's out. I don't care about him quitting Thailand. That's basically a non-issue. So, I'm probably gonna just realign now. Because if I coup, then he counter coups even if I succeed. If I don't succeed with a coup, he may just... Oh, like... That's interesting. So, the issue is that if he kicks me out of Colombia, I no longer have realignments because Colombia is creating all my realignment chances this game. I mean, this turn. It's basically all relying on Colombia being mine. And I can't really ensure that it remains mine. So I think I will just go for realigns right away. Okay. Okay. Really? Okay, so realignments are not really working well. So, so basically, what OPEC did is it transferred one of his ops from Venezuela to Panama, and it gave him a VP. That's a pretty tragic result. Oh, fucking 6-2. All right, so he goes for Colombia coup. So that means that now Che is playable because his only target is Costa Rica. So I can just give it to him and take Venezuela, I guess. Okay, that even works. But he doesn't get to make another coup because he has no targets, so I can take Venezuela with it. It may be reasonable for me to play Nixon this turn as well. I mean China cards too, because then I get to play Nixon in its probably stronger form, which is giving myself the China card again. He discarded voice, so he probably doesn't have grain sales. That's not a lot of information. He could have held voice from the last turn, that's pretty probable. How I learned is another card he could have held. So I don't know very much about him. Also, Vol's plays are pretty reasonable. It's quite obvious that he's not gonna use a bigger card on that coup, so I don't really know much about his hand. Now I fucking know a lot about his hand because he would probably use a bit bigger card if he could, but he didn't need to because he could just roll a 6, so that doesn't matter. Now I have to coup back. Do I coup Venezuela or Argentina? I probably coup Venezuela because I'm not going for Chile anyway, probably. And if I coup Venezuela successfully, uh, then I get to have some backup in Brazil. 4 is not enough. But if he is really that weak, then I guess it could be enough. If I play the China card because I'm also weak, I don't have good cards to play. I mean, I only have 2 odds. Unless I'm giving him socialists, but that's probably out of the question. Yeah, so now I'm going for something like that. And now if I coup Colombia, it sets up a realignment of Panama again. Unfortunately, I have to fix Costa Rica because he rolled 5 with Che. So that's another threat I may create for another turn. But what I would like to do as well is play Nixon for an event. So I guess I will do that. He may also have Ask Not, so I guess delaying the bad cards I have is somewhat of a value for me. Okay, my opponent left. Oh, okay, he's back, I guess. It's actually funny that we both like skipped half of our turn this game, but I did it because I had 10,000 scorings on turn 3 and he did it because he got purged into bear trapped and didn't roll well. Okay, I'm getting Camp David, that doesn't really matter that much. Let's use Nixon. I'm completely fine with using Nixon before Cultural because Usury is still in the deck, so I don't really have to worry about that. And by that I mean China card remaining with him. And also, to be fair, CIA is gone because, of course, I sniped it with my fire plan, and Lone Gunman is gone because he decided to headline it. So, Astronaut is no longer. And therefore China is no longer as relevant of the card because this game doesn't look like it's going to end in DevCon. Okay, so now I could space Fidel to stop his second spacing, but I can also just coup Colombia, and that way I will also stop his second spacing because instead of spacing he has to defend Panama now. So I suppose he will coup Colombia or something like that. One small step, alright. Yeah, I will just set it up again. No, I won't set it up, I'm sorry, I will roll exactly a 1, which means I won't set it up. Because I needed exactly anything else. South America kinda sucks, I have no tools to improve the situation there. Attack and cover, decent headline, Korean War sucks. Flower power, it's fine, it's a forward. Muslim Revolution, very annoying, I don't get to do anything with it, but at least he didn't get it. NATO, a strong card, I like to have it. South African Unrest is a bad card, but he already has both South Africa and Angola, so I guess that doesn't matter that much. Of course, no Junta, no Brush, and no ABM. I guess I will just go for that. There's nothing better for me to do. I suppose he will just headline Brush, Junta, or ABM. Let's see. Yeah, he goes for Junta. Thanks to that, he doesn't have a good coup target, so he just, I don't know, like breaks Venezuela, Costa Rica, and I don't know. takes Venezuela with force. It's not like there's no counterplay against that. There's nothing I could have done. Unless I could have headlined South America, but that's an even worse idea. What the heck? Okay, that's interesting. So he went for Mexico. Well, that's kind of understandable since I know that he can't really have. But he can't really have a South American scoring, and he surely can have Central American scoring. So there is a big chance that he actually got Central America, and he decided to go for Mexico because of that. Flower Power is playable, but I have to play it after Korean War. Okay, that's a pretty weak play. There are like 10,000 blue cards that I don't see, so he probably got some of them at least, and maybe that's why he's playing pretty defensively. Alright, what do I want? I think I will go for something like that. It frees up my flower power already, so that's what I want to do. Of course, he wins Korean War. So, yeah, whatever. I have more than enough spacing targets, and I'm not going to space twice, so I probably had to give it to him anyway, and I had to give it to him before uh, I played Flower Power, so it's not like I had anything better to do. Do I drop South America scoring? I think I do, because I don't know anything about Brush War or ABM, so he could have one or both of them, so I'm not gonna risk anything. I suspect he will space now, yeah, exactly. So now I actually, Jesus, he hits that. So now I will actually have to space to defend against him spacing twice, because now him spacing twice would be pretty huge. I will space Fidel or Maslin. Let's go for Fidel. Alright. Um, so now he doesn't get to space more, and now he's probably gonna somewhat defend against realignments, at least one of the realignments, because they're too set up. And if he doesn't do that now, then I will finally get to try realigning something, and hopefully this time I don't realign myself. But, well, we'll see about that. There's still Kennedy in the deck, and okay, he plays that. That's enough. I need to get my Milops somehow, so I can start by giving up South African unrest, which is basically giving up on Thailand, on Angola and South Africa, but not entirely, because if I get nuclear subs, I can still try flipping it. So I will give that to him. I will coup Guatemala and get some Milops, and maybe if I roll well enough, I will get to realign actually. That's not a really good roll, but there is a chance that he's short on playable cards, so by just creating little uh, opportunities for myself like this one, I may get to somehow limit the playability of his hand. Okay, he failed, so now I'm realigning the hell out of him, hopefully. So let's start with Mexico. Okay, now Panama. Okay, it went bad in Panama, but it went decently. I mean, it went really well in Mexico with that first roll, so I'm kinda glad. So now he will probably fix Panama, then I will probably just play Flower Power to take something, and then we'll see if we get Kennedy or not. Of course he had it. He had to have it. And he had to succeed. There's like nothing, nothing I could have done to prevent that from happening, unfortunately. So I guess he gets that. Uh, what can I do with one more point? every scoring is gone from the game for now, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Um, I don't even know. Huh. The goal is gone, Suez is gone, so France is pointless, West Germany is pointless, basically Europe is pointless. In the Middle East, I could go for Israel just to throw in another point in there. Yeah, that's just a decent battleground that I want to take someday after Camp David is played, so I will just go for that. And let's see if we get a treat in form of Kennedy or not. There are no scorings left, so we are absolutely allowed to discard Socialists and Muslim. So, and we don't get killed by a weird gunman or scoring. So that's a safe play. Nope, we're not getting it. He's playing shuttle, so like most of the, I mean not most, but like many good blue cards will just get played once only because the game decided to not bring them to the table before their shuffle. But some of them are good one-time events only, so I guess that doesn't matter this much. This will be just an empty turn because I want to fix that immediately. Okay, what did we get? We got Missile Envy, Arms Race, and ABM, which are very good actually. We got John Paul, we got Kennedy, uh, we got Voice again. That's interesting. Okay, but what did he get? Mm, he got Cambridge, Quagmire, OAS, Nuclear Subs, Armani, Tehran, and Usury. Okay, so it's fair to say, I think, that we got the better part of the cards. The problem is that he got the Quagmire, so he's just going to Quag. And we don't have a good discard to Quag. So we're probably going to hold Kennedy, play China with Muslim, and hold Kennedy and UN, and play all the other cards casually, I guess. Uh, hmm. So we know most of the cards, so we know 8 of his cards. His 9 cards. And if he headlines the Quagmire, and it's the only reasonable headline we see, then he's gonna have 2 free opts, Alliance for Progress and Usury. And taking away Usury is kind of a help for him, but... or is it? I don't really want him to give me Usury. And he won't give me Alliance, because come on. He basically has to play Usury himself. So the problem with Miss Landy is that we just get Usury and we don't really get to do anything with it. I mean, I could break North Korea and Thailand, or Laos, Cambodia even, and play for the country count, but is it worth it? I could break South Korea and Pakistan. And then he needs to fix it with a free up, so he plays Missile Envy because he has to, and he coups with it, and then I discard something to Quack, hopefully get out, and then he doesn't get to repair anything unless he plays Alliance for Progress. So maybe actually it's not Alba. Of course, none of this accounts for the one card we don't know, but I'm just assuming that it's not relevant enough for me to account for it. So let's go for Miss Lenby actually. Maybe that's fine. Of course he plays Quagmire, so I guess we get Usury, because he's not going to give me Alliance, right? That would be pretty silly, I think. Let's see. Okay, he's considering all the possibilities. Brush War would be a good catch. Maybe he redrew it. It would cost me 2 BPs, but this Italy is a real pain in my ass, this game. But 6 at the start of the game really hurts. Okay, so he gives me Usuri, just I expected, so let's go for something like, right? Yeah, uh, yeah. I think it's fair. I will go for Pakistan over Thailand because if I get Pakistan, there's a chance for me to create a. Whoa, alright. Get out. I got out. For me to create a better protection for India from Indo-Pakistani war. So now I guess he will coup. If he doesn't coup and he chooses, I first of all, I don't really understand why he took North Korea over Pakistan. That's a pretty bad play, if you ask me. I don't really understand it. Maybe he has a good reason for it, but okay. So he takes both of them anyway. Interesting, because that just lets me coup. So I will coup Nigeria with arms race. Yeah. Like, I could have used Pope for that as well, so that I could have a chance of using arms race for an event, but I want to play Pope for an event as well, and I just decided to go for this play. I don't think playing the other way around is completely wrong, but playing Pope is just has so much value in the late war for US. It triggers solidarity, makes East European unrest basically unplayable. Uh, it's it is a serious threat combined with um, Chernobyl, so I'm going to do that. So he showed his last card, which I didn't know, which was South African Unrest. So he has OAS, nuclear subs, government in Tehran, puppet governments, and Alliance for Progress. He may space one of those. I suspect I will get at least one in Tehran. I suspect I will get puppet governments and nuclear subs. I think he will space Alliance for Progress and hold OAS. So I will probably use puppet governments to get domination in Africa. And I will get to coup Angola on my last AR. And I will do it with the China card, with cultural, right? So I want to play the China card on my AR6 then, so that he tries to fix the damage with nuclear subs, and then I get to play nuclear on my AR7. So from my AR 3, 4, and 5, I will get to play John Paul, ABM, and Voice. Right, right. I would play Voice last, but I'm getting nuclear subs probably, so there's no reason for me to do that. So let's start with John Paul, which is the least flexible option, but it's one that I want to use anyway. And see what he does. I expect to get Man in Tehran now. Yeah, exactly. Alright. And that's a surprisingly good catch, actually. I didn't expect this card to be a value for me this game, but it's a surprisingly huge result because I will gladly get rid of all of those cards. Of course, Arab-Israeli war is theoretically no longer an event, but that's not a card I wanna draw, and it matters to me twice as much as it matters to him. Maybe not twice, but it matters more for me than it matters for him, because I will probably get to event Kennedy, which means that it's reasonable for me to want to keep good cards in the deck, because I will just use more of them. And of course, it's okay, that makes sense. And of course, it is somewhat contradictory with the fact that I discarded Brushwar, but Brushwar is more of a Soviet card right now than anything else, because Flower Power is in play. So now I have ABM and Voice to play for the next 2 rounds. I think I can start with ABM and go for Argentina. That's nice. So now I expect him to play Puppet Government or Space Alliance for Progress. He probably should Space Alliance for Progress, if you were to ask me. Or maybe he comes to the conclusion that now OAS is playable after I took Argentina. But as I said, he spaces Alliance for Progress. That's reasonable. Unfortunately, he fails. If he succeeded, it could have been really problematic for him. Now I will just break that and break that in preparation for my China play. Is it my choice? I guess it is. So now he'll probably give me puppets. Yep. That means I can grab a Dom in Africa in a non-risky way. And let's go for Peru. And I expect him to... I would say he's going to grab Pakistan, but after I saw what he did last time, maybe he will actually grab North Korea. But I think it's a mistake. He should clearly go for Pakistan with at least one op. If he doesn't, that's great for me, by the way. I will absolutely take that. But he should take Pakistan back. Okay, I really don't know why he's doing that. Yeah, let's go for it. And now he will give me nuclear subs finally, and I will get to coup Angola with cultural. Okay, so absolutely no surprises this turn. Exactly how I planned everything. That's nice. And he praised Argentina. That's fine. I will still coup Angola. That's too valuable of a target. Unfortunately, I don't get anything. I mean, it's... arguably, it's something. Okay. That's not a good hand. Not a terrible hand either. It's probably a Kennedy hand to fix it a little bit. Ugh. Disgusting. Fortunately, Europe is out of the game for now. It will come back during the final scoring, of course. Right, because I probably want to discard all those crappy cards, which are not killers of the card, but are just useless enough for me to want to get rid of them. Of course, Iranian Hostage Crisis is unplayable. So I will go for that. Jesus Christ! How red can it get? Okay, so I discarded 5 non-red cards to get 5 red cards. That's not something I wanted to happen. Let's put it this way. Especially due to the fact that that Glasnost is now unplayable because he exactly had Reformer. Normally Glasnost would be a good card for me to draw, but after he had like exactly Reformer, it's a terrible one. So I will have to. Hmm, I'll probably play Eldritch Aims alone during last AR, and Space will bury you and play Glasnost with UN, I guess. I mean, if he doesn't lower the defcon, then it's huge. Because then I can use We Will Bury You and then play Glasnost with UN, and I don't have to space anything. I can just play Will Bury You as a free 4-up, which would be huge. Would be huge. Of course, war games are unaccounted for, but not something I can change. Okay, he just breaks everything. Evil Empire. Alright. So I guess I'm going for Will Bury You. And I'm going to Angola, that's for sure. The rest is more complicated. I'm not gonna break South America like and set up some temporary domination bullshit because like we both know well that I'm not gonna hold it for long. So I'm just gonna overprotect that, take that, and specialist in the deck. So I guess I will take UK as well. Or maybe I shouldn't even care about UN when Naito is not in play. I'll just do something like that and think that. Let's see if he got war games as well. If the answer is no, I have a pretty decent chance of winning this game. Because if I survive to the final scoring uh, and catch some decent scorings on the waiver, the score may change pretty dramatically. I'm dominating Africa by a lot. No, please don't hit UN. Okay, he hit Glasnost. That's not very good. But like in this situation, basically everything was pretty bad. Terrorism is just not a card I wanted to see now. Due to the fact that I played Will Bury You, I have to use UN anyway. I have to. There's no. It's not debatable. So the question is, do I play it with UN to save 1 VP, or do I play it with Allende to not give him 2 influence in Chile? And I think I'm playing it with UN, with you two, I'm sorry. Because I just don't care about Chile that much. Or I think actually I may start with Cuba. Let him think about what to do with Central. Yeah, and I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 5 more turns to play. I have only 4 cards, so I'll give him Allende, play Chernobyl, Norad for ups, and Aldrich Aims for ups as well on my last day. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I could also think about eventing Norad, but I don't think it's worth it overall. Latin American Scots. Botswana and what? Argentina? No problem. I have to get my Milops with a 3-up anyway, so I may just as well start by cooing Botswana with a 3-up. Unfortunately, rolling A1 doesn't grant me anything. The problem now is that if he could Sudan or Ethiopia to get his Milops, and I think he will do that, then if I don't turn it around, then it's just African draw. Okay, that's actually good. So that means Ortega is out of the game and he doesn't have Central American presence anyway. I guess I don't have a better thing to do with one of them to cool Colombia, so I guess I will cool Colombia now. It may come in useful later on if he manages to break one of my South American battlegrounds, because now he has to find a different source of a non-battleground. Let's put it this way. He goes to space with that. That's actually annoying, but that means that now troops are unspaceable for him. So it's a great value for him, but it's also a pretty big risk. And I guess I don't have much more to do than to just fill the battlegrounds that are in my reach. So I will. So yeah, this game looks like it's basically it's more and more a coin toss of who gets war games, but it's a coin toss that's favorable towards me. Let's put it this way, because firstly he has to get war games quickly enough so that I don't lower his score below 6. And secondly, there are so many cards in the deck that no one may. It is possible that no one draws war games. And thirdly, he has to win this game. If he draws this game, he finishes below me in the group stage of the Champions League. So if he wants to overtake me as a leader, he has to win. So I guess I will break Argentina. Now, unfortunately, he still has 2 action rounds. He has 1 action round and 2 cards. And that way I think it was pretty reasonable of him to play OAS now, because he doesn't need to react with OAS itself. He can just use another card to react to it. And please don't be a 5-year planet Central or Africa or some shit like that. I really need some scorings. There are also no really good scorings. Oh, maybe breaking Argentina was a mistake after all. I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't. But like, maybe I should have overprotected some things. Not sure about that. I'm just not sure. Okay. Wow. This is so interesting. Oh my god, I don't know what to do with this hand. Ah! Okay, so Duck and Cover would be such a great headline normally. But now he knows my headlines. And if I headline Duck and Cover and he has Skull, he just headlines Skull and I'm dead lost. Same goes for Defectors. Soviets shoot down Cow is basically useless. How I learned is interesting, but it doesn't really grant me anything. Junta is great, but it loses to war games. Like, okay, so if he has war games, I have to go for Duck and Cover. And probably How I Learned doesn't help me much. So if he has war games, I have to go for Duck. If he doesn't have war games, I have to go for Junta. If he has war games and Cal, there is nothing I can do to win this game. I would have to play like How I Learned and try to make the DEFCON 5 and then get South American domination somehow. There's less than 50% chance that he has war games. So I guess I will have to assume that he doesn't have war games. I will just go for Junta then. I could play Junta and not lower the DEFCON and realign something, but I got the only remaining scoring that I can't just headline and hope for it to work. This is a scoring that I have to do some magic to get any advantage there, and that hurts a lot. Yeah, so Decall is a strong card, but kinda whatever. That sucks! Oh, that sucks a lot. That sucks a lot. Because now I'm not even gonna get anything from South America. He just gets the Decall. And then fix Argentina. Well, I guess we'll see if he has war games now, because if he does, then it's over. If not, then I better find a way to get some victory points before this turn ends, because if not, then the problem of him possibly having war games will just remain the same. He didn't have war games, he had nuclear tests done. Yeah. Cool. I'm just taking Algeria. Yeah, of course. I could fight for it, I think. With a 5-year plan, probably. If he uses a China card to overprotect it, then I will just go Cameroon and remain dominant. This is fine. I will try once more. Doesn't look like he's interested in breaking anything I have in South America. Okay, I'm out of fuel, so now I have to go. Just give me Africa already, please. Please just give me this Africa. Influence. Jesus Christ, just give me Africa. Why do you care so much about it? It's just one region. Okay, why didn't he coup? That's weird. Why didn't he just coup? Oh, maybe he wanted time to take Angola. I don't want to give up special. Because he may play NATO. I don't want to give up how I learned because it may give me VPs. Marine barracks bombing is unplayable. Or is it? Yeah, it is. I'm giving up something. I'm giving up special, I think. I think if he had... That's very unfortunate, by the way. I think if he had NATO, he wouldn't be so resistant to playing it. I'm not saying that if he has NATO, he should have played it earlier, but I think that if he had NATO, he would have played it earlier. Please fail. Fuck! Why the hell? Alright, so that's very bad for me. Now I just drop South America scoring. Nothing to get from it. I can get 3 VPs from playing how I learned, but oh, okay, at least that. So now I will get 3 VPs from it by playing it like that, and now okay, and now we're finally playing the game. It's very bad that he succeeded in the Iraq-Iran war, but this hand I got is so good that I may be able, I think I will pull it off. I think I will win. He may have Indo-Pakistani war, and there is Africa nowhere to be found. Mm, however, hmm, however, I got Central, and I got 4 4-ups. So this hand may itself be just so good that I'm going to win. And hmm, there are some cards that he got that are pretty unplayable and unspaceable for him as well. So like Colonials, Grains, Solidarity, Star Wars. Ah no, Star Wars are not active, so that doesn't matter. The question is, do I play Purge? And I think I do. I think I do. Because Purge lowers the chances he has of flipping anything in Africa. Uh, Cal doesn't do that because Defcon is at 5. So playing Cal doesn't take away his coup completely. So I will just go for Purge. And I think this should be enough to win. I will have to give him something, but Latin American Debt Crisis is probably playable. Marine Barracks Bombing will probably be playable. Liberation Theology will... I don't have to play that. I can space something, I can hold something, and there are mostly blue events in the deck. He may have Iran Contra Scandal, Yuri Samantha, Che or OPEC from red cards. He chose Yuri Samantha. That's by the way a very good choice. He should have called him for it. And he uses OPEC to coup. Well, that's interesting. I want to have the last coup in Africa, so I will just use this opportunity to drop Central. And this should be enough to win. He got... okay, so this last turn was just me getting basically all the good cards and him getting all the bad cards. Like, straight up. That's very, very fortunate for me. Wow, that 6 is not though. They have to flip something now. Let's use NATO because it's obvious, and let's use it on Angola. It will surely work. Of course, I have to give him the point, but he can take it. I'm not going to fight for African domination, basically because I don't need it. I'm not going to play with Kuz when Yuri and Samantha is in game. So now I will just space something and see what he does. Alright, uses Che right away, so that means that I'm not getting Africa regardless. There is just no need for it. There is just no need for me to even try. So let's wait Liberation. If he has Africa, he drops it now because first... I mean, he probably should try realigning Angola because he knows he's losing this game. So he basically needs a miracle to happen. So that's probably the best way to get a miracle for him. Oh, he events that. Okay, he fails, so that's basically the end. I can just play it as an empty event, I guess. Jesus, we're playing for nearly 2 hours. Okay. Korea, that's I mean Japan. Let's equalize. Okay, where can I seek additional keys? Uh, yeah, I should be pretty safe. He has US Japan in his hand because otherwise he wouldn't be entering Japan. Mm. Where's the chance I will get something now? No, I won't. He got contract. Cool. Okay. So, what do we do now? Um, Not many sources of GPs available, so I guess I will just whatever, break that and take that. Oh, I don't need that many. It doesn't really matter though. Yeah, oh my god. Alright, so we both skip profit turn to millions swings or failed goals. Yeah, it was huge, but bear trap basically saved my day. I'm really glad I went for that, but I also like I'm kind of results oriented now because I'm not really sure if that was the best I could have done here, but I played for a certain chance and it worked 100%. It was huge for me. Well, thanks for watching. I'm sorry that this is another 2-hour video, but those are the games that happened to me. Uh, I will see you next time, probably in I I mean I don't know if it's the next time, but I will see you in Champions League final stage because I will advance from the first place from the group stage thanks to this game. See you soon.